Okay, people, before we get started, I just wanted to remind you guys to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell to get all notifications. We drop new episodes of FORNEVERNEWS every Saturday, 12 p.m. EST, and throughout the week, we upload some of those segments into smaller videos for your viewing pleasure. So yeah, hit those buttons. I'd greatly appreciate it. Without further ado, let's jump into it. Hunter x Hunter fans, we have known for the longest time, and in case you don't, that the creator of Hunter x Hunter, the author, the artist, all wrapped in one, Yoshihiro Togashi, same person that made Yu Yu Hakusho, has had health issues for the longest time. I mean, dating back to when he was doing Yu Yu Hakusho, the reason why Yu Yu Hakusho ends the way it does, that a lot of fans are not necessarily happy with it, is the fact that Togashi has had health issues with his back in particular. It has been just a very, very negative thing in his life, and that is why we've gotten so many hiatuses for Hunter x Hunter. That is why in Bakuman, for example, there's a character that got injured so badly and was still drawing in the hospital because it was based off of Yoshihiro Togashi's life. That character in particular, of he has had back problems for the longest time. He ended Yu Yu Hakusho because of it, and Hunter x Hunter, the way it is right now, how it's constantly going into hiatus, is due to those health issues. Even when he's returned throughout the years, he's constantly said a lot of things about his back issues that he's had, and it seems to be the case that even with this massive hiatus, the longest hiatus that Hunter x Hunter has been on thus far, Yoshihiro Togashi is still having issues with his health, and this is why a lot of people say that Hunter x Hunter should just call it quits already, or that he should just have somebody else do it, because this man, it's scary to read. It's scary to read that this guy struggles so hard with these health conditions and still tries to come out at his older age, because I believe Togashi is like in his 60s, I want to say now. This is an elderly man that is still pushing himself to try and get at least some type of chapters out, and he hasn't seen any improvements with his health. According to some comments he made over on Twitter recently, for starters, he said, "I advanced 1 frame. I'm having a hard time with my right hand. My symptoms did not improve, and I spent a lot of time on treatment and recovery." Chapter 399, creating a specified background effect. So pretty much he's saying that he's having difficulties now with his right hand, and that symptoms, despite the fact that he was in treatment and recovery to kind of, you know, get out of this situation he's been in, it still hasn't helped, and he's really going through it. And this is, if any other thing ain't going to tell you, this got to be the sign, dog, that if you went through treatment and recovery and it's only getting worse, no improvements whatsoever, it's time to either hang it up, wrap up Hunter x Hunter, or for the love of God, for the love of the fans, for the love of everybody around, please let somebody else handle the hard aspects. I don't think it would be too much for Togashi to write, because writing is a whole different aspect than being hunched over drawing for a million years, even if it's just drafts and whatnot. But I really, really wish Yoshihiro Togashi would make up his mind one way or the other. I understand that it is a war within that man. He is dealing with a war every day when he thinks about this series, because based on the interviews that I've read in the past, this man struggles with giving basically the baton to somebody else. He wants to do it all. Now, granted, I think in more recent times, especially with some of the stuff he's been saying lately, I want to say that he's not completely doing everything now. Don't quote me on that, but he's talked about assistance, and he's talked about basically giving in drafts and whatnot. So maybe he has more help this time around than any other time. But I still say that, dog, just hand over the art to somebody else. Hand over the art and, you know, do what One and Murata does. Look at what happened with One Punch Man once Murata came over and redid it and serialized it with his improved art and whatnot. It went skyrocketing. Hunter x Hunter alone, the story is so rich, the characters, all of that stuff is so rich that if we just get another artist, first of all, Togashi doesn't have to struggle any longer. He can improve his health, or just at the very least not risk damaging his health even further. I mean, for crying out loud, now he's having problems with his right hand. This man is an elderly man. You know, we joke all the time, and sometimes it's very frustrating for Hunter x Hunter fans, but he got to let it go. He really got to let it go and let somebody else do it. Granted, he's been drawing and doing the best he can this time around, but at what cost? Like, is it going to be another 3 to 4 more years before we get Hunter x Hunter chapters in between this next hiatus that is inevitable? Yeah, we don't want some Kentaro Miura situation to happen. You know what happened with Kentaro Miura, creator of Berserk. In case you don't, the man passed away and had severe health issues, and living that mangaka lifestyle is not the healthiest by any means, especially let alone something from Shonen Jump like Hunter x Hunter. I really, really wish the best for Togashi. I send a whole bunch of, an abundance of prayers and just positive vibes, because every other word out of this man's mouth since I've been even covering the Shonen Jump author comments and all of this that's going down is, I have health issues. My back hurts. My arms hurt. I can't do this. I'm dragging myself to just take a dump in the toilet. He is in misery and hell with this. This is almost like his greatest pleasure, I'd imagine, because he loves making manga. He wouldn't have been doing it this entire time if he didn't. But also his worst enemy of, it's wringing out his body. And at this late in the game, this late in life, Togashi, I want him to be happy. I don't want him suffering no more. This man has brought too much joy to my life with classics like Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter to still be going through this. And I hope that other authors in Shonen Jump take heed from what Togashi's going through. The fact that Samurai 8 didn't work out for Masashi Kishimoto, who knows? Maybe it was a blessing in disguise. Do you want Kishimoto to be going through this 20, 30 years from now down the road of the same situations of what Togashi faces right now? All of these health issues and constantly feeling like, well, damn, at some point I gotta get back to it, right? That's the money maker, and I got fans all over the world waiting for my return. I don't want that for any other author, let alone Togashi, that has already been through all of this. Salute to Togashi for trying and continuing on despite, everything that's been going on, but he needs to either hang it up or pass it over. And I don't care if he's been doing chapters recently, that's irrelevant. He is suffering. This man is suffering for his art, and I respect him for it. But at the same time, I don't want nothing bad to happen to him. We've been losing too many people. We've lost a bunch of creatives and all sorts of stuff. And not Togashi, man. I wish the best for you, yo. I really hope you get out of this situation and figure out the best method for this. If it's really too difficult to let go, you're going to eventually, something bad is going to happen to you as you're doing it. So my heart goes out to him. And yeah, not so great news, but it is what it is. And I want to be clear, by no means am I saying anything negative to Togashi, because some people will somehow find some way to say, hey, why are you coming at Togashi? I am saying that I want the best for that man. Cut and dry. Bottom line. According to the latest issue of Weekly Shonen Jump, apparently Bleach's 1,000-Year Blood War arc anime will be publishing new information next week in Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 39. So we're going to get even more updates, which I don't know what they could do at this particular point. I guess they're going to probably show us more like character designs of how they're going to look in the anime and stuff like that, because we've already had a massive big trailer. We've already gotten like a ton of info from Kubo. We know that Disney Plus is involved, which I forgot about that. Oh my god, this is going to be a very interesting little debacle here. But yes, we'll get more information in the next issue of Jump, which it's going to be hype regardless. As long as they don't do nothing stupid, which again, I don't think Disney even has the rights to be able to do anything stupid with the IP anyway, this should be good. And yeah, I'll definitely report on whatever comes out of it next week's issue of Shonen Jump. But the fact that they're teasing that there's more info about Bleach in the next issue makes me really question, like, okay, why are they teasing it? What is so big about it? Maybe it's gonna be, it could be that maybe they're gonna announce like the opening song, who's gonna be like the band and the song that's going to be for the Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War opening. That could be what it is, now that I think about it. Again, either that or character designs or a comment from Kubo. But I felt like I'd give you the info of next week. There'll be more info on Bleach. We've got a big update on One Piece Film Red, and wow, talk about a way to sell tickets and make money. That is red-haired Shanks. Shanks is clearly, there's no other reason, because One Piece Stampede was marketed with, having somebody from Roger's crew. That wasn't the biggest successful one. Prior to that, One Piece Film Gold, somebody that rocked with Doflamingo. That wasn't the big one. Film Z was a huge one. I love freaking Film Z. My God, such a great movie. But Film Red is destroying the box office like no other. In fact, we're going to talk about it in a bit on the top 50 best-selling manga of even back catalog volumes are selling real well. But apparently, One Piece Film Red officially becomes the highest movie in revenue of the whole One Piece franchise. It has surpassed One Piece Film Z's total earnings of $6,870,000,000 in just 10 days of screening. And Jesus freaking Christ, dog. How? Like, I am in disbelief right now. So it made more revenue than any of the One Piece films in history so far. And it's only 10 days. Oh my God. This is, I don't know if it's gonna necessarily do Mugen Train numbers, Demon Slayer Mugen Train, because that was a phenomenon like no other, but this is freaking nuts, and I'm sure Toei is counting their blessings right now, considering they took a massive L, and they're taking a massive L with the Dragon Ball Super superhero film, which I'm actually gonna be watching tonight, now that I think of it as of the recording of this video. Hey! Yeah, this is definitely gonna make up for the loss that they took with Dragon Ball Superhero, because it has already surpassed One Piece. One Piece Film Z came out literally a decade ago, 2012. So the fact that it has already surpassed Film Z in 10 days, hats off to One Piece, hats off to Oda, hats off to Toei, and this just gets me more excited about this film. I mean, I've heard some things about, like, there's a lot of musical aspects to it. It gets into a lot of songs, which makes sense because Uta is a singer, but I'm not gonna listen to any of that shit. I'm going to watch that film ASAP. In fact, I wish it was the One Piece film that came out in August, because that would have been a great cap to my summer. But yeah, when it comes over here to the West in October, I am going to watch that shit, because my god, in only 10 days surpassing Film Z. Film Z is like the best film. It is the best film, in my opinion, of the One Piece franchise, and it's making more money than that in 10 days. Well, I'm in disbelief. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm rambling now because I am quite shooketh, my lord. But yes, One Piece doing amazing things in the box office, surpassing all of the films. Love to see it. No, really, I would love to see it right now.
I have a dream, alone in my room as I sit with the tea. Couldn't possibly think what I often see, and you don't even know how I often blink. Lights be flashing and looking at me, such a odd unique, yet I'm so unique and you're looking at me. If the walls could talk, they would probably repeat, and I'd probably say, bitch, get the fuck off me.